From the previous events, we got a lot of feedback with folks saying that they wish they had an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the people who are kind of putting on NewOps days and what our companies do and why we do this. Not a sales pitch, just an understanding of who we are. So if you decide you don't have questions, then I've got 3, and then we'll let y'all do, and if not, we'll go get lunch. Sound good? All right. It's a learning exercise for us as we evolve and continue to do events. All right, so I'm Josh Atwell. I'm with Splunk.
And on.
There it is.
There we go. Okay. Right in the middle of a shout, right?
Yeah.
My name is Jorn, and I am with Rundeck.
Excellent. All right.
Is that good?
That's great. So I'm going to ask Jorn a question, and he'll answer it, and then I'll ask it myself to me. Jorn, what does your company do?
So if we're going to wave one flag that we wave, we're here to reduce toil via self-service operations. And whether it's just toil, the word from the English language, or toil in the Google SRE sense, which is really what we're going after, that's really what we're here to do.
What is toil?
Well, you're making me cheat on my presentation later, so now I have to shorten it. Thanks. Way to go.
Never mind.
Okay. No, well, toil is that stuff that should be. Well, I've got a chart later on, and we'll put it up, and we'll have 2 different descriptions, but it is what you probably imagine.
Okay. And Splunk, we do data analytics, and we, as was described great with microservices, we give you visibility into your machine data and what's going on, because data and visibility and data allows you to make good decisions. I need more data in my life. All right. So, Jordan, what is one thing about your company or product that people may not know that would be good to know?
Just one, right?
Just one, yeah.
That we make no assertions, no expectations that you will ever use our product to replace really any other product in your environment. We are not another tool. We're actually the tool that solves the pain of tool creep.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that either, so that's good. So for us, how many of you are actually a Splunk customer already? Okay.
So popular.
Well, we mail out to people who we know.
Sure.
So
it's also a good product. And
yeah, you don't always want to throw a party where you don't know anybody.
That's true.
So one of the things that I find regularly is that everybody loves the product, but they don't feel like they're getting as much value out of it as they think they can. And for me, I think the thing that most people forget is it's all about the questions you ask, right? So this thing produces tons of data. This thing produces tons of data about myself. My network produces crazy amounts of data about my kids' behaviors. But unless I ask specific questions that I need answers to, it's just a bunch of data, and it's just overwhelming, and it doesn't feel like something that's meaningful. So I think that's something that people don't always appreciate. It's all about good questions. Okay. Jordan, what is the biggest NewOps trend that you are seeing in your customers and in their organizations and environments?
I think it's actually that pursuit to understand, because people are understanding sort of what DevOps is, but I think there's that pursuit to now understand toil with a capital T from the Google SRE sense, and how to get rid of it and what the heck SRE might mean or not mean for their organization. People are starting to actually ask those questions and wonder if it's a bunch of fluff or not.
How many of you have SRE groups in your organization? How many of you have SRE groups who are basically the NOC that you had before, but with a new name? That's very good. I was hoping no one would raise their hand.
No one's raising.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to say, interestingly enough, containers is the thing that I end up talking the most about with customers and adoption. Just this slight disconnect of a lot of operations organizations believing that containers aren't necessarily impacting them, that's a developer concern, and then helping them realize that at some point they're going to have to support those, cohabitate those perhaps, provide operational support, because it's not just the developers utilizing container technology. A lot of application vendors who are producing applications are transitioning to containerized technology to make their applications more extensible. So that's the big one for me. Security was just too easy. I'm not going to go down that path. All right, so we kind of set things up. Any questions from you all about Rundeck, Splunk? Perfect. Go ahead. how Splunk handles security events? Yeah, sure. I won't be able to get into the greatest technical detail. We have great gentlemen at our table that will be able to get in more. In large part, we develop applications and add-ons for Splunk that can be incorporated into Splunk Enterprise, and we also have a separate security-specific product, and it is aware of the type of data and information that's coming in advance, so that we can start giving you that value up front. So whether you're monitoring security, whether you're monitoring user behavior, things of that nature, that's already kind of pre-done, right? So those are additional products on top of like base Splunk. But even with base Splunk, if there isn't an add-on, which we've got Splunk base with like over 1,000 applications and add-ons that have been developed and available, we make it very easy to take data that is from different sources or different locations and aggregate that into a singular view and correlate that data in a meaningful way. So if you have a user with an ID 432 and they've got a name over here that correlates with 432, you can actually see and correlate all that based on that common information, right? So it allows you to see like a customer journey or a user journey so that you can track that behavior. We also apply AI ML technologies, not like the fanciful stuff you see in the movies, but like legitimate, real algorithmic machine learning type stuff to help identify anomalies and behaviors that are not expected.
My introduction to Splunk, the first few times I ever saw Splunk in my career, it was coming from the security departments. They were the ones using it the most.
Yeah, security is still one of our biggest use cases, with IT operations and IT management being the other, which is my wheelhouse, which is why I didn't want to overextend my knowledge on security. Anyone else? Okay, I want to ask a question of everybody else because I think it's relevant. How many of you are involved with automation within your organization? Okay, how many tools do you use to automate with? Just throw a number out. Lots.
All of them. Everybody uses all of them.
Okay, what's the primary tool that everybody's using? Or the one that you spend the most time in, I should say? For Puppet? Okay.
Ansible, Jenkins, probably.
Configuration management.
Yeah. Terraform.
Okay. All right, cool.
You're a very normal crowd. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right, any other questions? Any questions that's not related to Splunk or Rundeck that you want to ask?
Do you have
God,
cats?
I don't really want to talk about my cats. I do. I have 2 cats. My wife has a thing for red-haired creatures. Me, my 3 children, our 2 cats. Yeah. I'm not a really much of a cat person. I don't like the attitude. They're just like everything's always on their terms. Like there's no give and take. If they give anything to you, like you have to question their motives. Kind of like developers, right? Just kidding.
I have a dog.
You have a dog?
100-pound dog. She's
Okay.
adorable.
I wasn't expecting a cat question. Thanks for that.
That's good, right? Mix it up a little. Mix it up a little.
That's my next talk. How cats, inspire DevOps. Anybody else? Okay. Well, that's fine. This was our trial segment of Ask a Panel of People questions about their companies and products. So
Without a lot of prep, so pretty good.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Good job, Josh.
I prepped. Come on, give me a break.
You prepped.
I just didn't want to overdo it. All right. Well, with that, we'll. It's a little earlier than we were planning, but I think lunch is ready.
I
So
see little buffet
yep.
things getting set up. Hey,
So
one of 2 things is going to happen. You can go out there and try to eat lunch, and you are allowed to, or you won't be allowed to. It's really,
Yeah.
Now you're prepared.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and break for lunch. We will be back here at 1:00. Please go visit our community sponsor tables and see what they're doing. I also highly encourage you to write down your questions and information about topics, put them on the board. If you write them directly on the board, that's fine too. We just kind of want to collect your thoughts and the things that you are interested in learning about, because this is your day and we want you to get the questions that you have answered. So get them up there, and we will have the forum this afternoon to kind of help get those answers. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thanks, folks.